Alright. This will be one of my first what ifs. Well, actually, my first what if. And today I will be doing what if Deku was betrayed. It's a pretty common one. Recently became more popular. I liked it, so I thought, why not do it? And yeah, let's get started with this. So I'll start from the beginning. What's it called? Before actually the beginning of the story, even. Well, before Deku even, began to want to become a hero, not really want to become a hero, before Deku was in high school, he met this, girl, she's in class 1A, you already know her, floaty girl, Uraka, sweetheart. What's it called? So he met her, they started talking, she knew about him being quirkless, she didn't really care at the time. Then, after a while, they knew each other for a few months, and Deku somehow got the courage to ask her out. So, she was like, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff, yeah, that's not important right now. So, everything else, basically goes up to canon, but, this time Deku's a bit happier, more confident. He has a girlfriend, stuff like that. Everything's looking up for Deku. For now. But, then Deku, he meets All Might, same way though and stuff like that. He still grabs onto his leg like an idiot. And then after he, meets All Might, he talks to him, can I be a hero? No, I don't think you can. Deku cries a little bit. He talks to Uraka, tells her about what happened. She's like, oh, don't worry, it's okay. So they've been trying to be supportive of him. And, stuff like that. Then, Deku sees Bakugo. He goes, he does the same stupid stuff, tries to save him. Stuff like that. So he does that. All Might's like, yeah, you want to be my successor? Everything goes to canon, basically. Everything up until probably before the USJ. So, a few days before the USJ happens, Deku is, texting Uraka. She's like, hey, I want to talk to you about something real quick. He's like, okay. And then, they meet up somewhere. They're talking. They're having dinner. It's nice. She's like, listen, Deku, it's not... The relationship hasn't been going how it was at the beginning. So, she basically breaks up with him. Deku's heartbroken. But, he tries to, keep up the smile. Because, All Might and stuff like that. So, next few days, they go to the USJ. Deku, he's like, he's sad and mopey and stuff like that. He's not smiling as much, but, he's still trying to keep up like he's happy and stuff like that. So everybody notices this, and, everybody knows what happened, basically. It spread like wildfire. Oh, Uraka broke up with Deku, blah, blah, how they be in high school. So basically, Deku, he's chilling out, right? So then they get teleported all around, villains attack, yada, 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 Ida escapes. Everything basically goes up to canon, except for the fact that, Deku this time, he tries to fight the Nomu, all that stuff. He gets hurt badly, right? So he basically, called an idiot and stuff like that. So, everybody's like, no, you shouldn't have done that, he's hurt bad, bad, beaten up bad. So, what's it called? All Might shows up, he saves the day, same way as coming. So, Midoriya's in the hospital right now. He is hurt. His, right arm broken, left arm a little bit decayed. His left leg, it's, fucking destroyed, basically, almost. But, yeah, he's, on his deathbed almost, right? But, somehow he makes it through. And All Might's like, listen, alright, you're broken. I can't have you as my successor. I think I should have listened to Night Eye. Mirio probably would have been a better successor. And, Midoriya, he's trying to keep it all up like, oh, that's fine, All Might. But, he's visibly hurt by this. He's like, oh, it's fine, All Might, it'll be okay, blah, blah, blah. So everything goes on. Deku's chilling in the hospital for a little while. He gave All Might the quirk back. He basically lost the quirk from there since, he's been chilling out, and he hasn't really used it, but, it just eventually faded away. So Deku, he's finally dispatched, he's on crutches because, his left leg is destroyed still. But, it's not, gone, but it's cracked. It's he won't be walking on that for, a few years. So he's skipping with one leg, basically. He's on crutches. And then he turns the corner. he sees something that he didn't want to see, even though, they broke up. He sees Uraka kissing, Bakugo. Basically, like, they're having a pretty passionate kiss. Deku sees it, he's sick to his stomach, because Bakugo, yeah, sure, he's Kacchan and all that, he's, his childhood friend, but he bullied him for so long, and Uraka knows this. Uraka, knows about Bakugo. She's told him off a few times, stuff like that. And then Deku's also told him off a few times because he's more confident in this, because, he dated Uraka for a while. But he's sick to his stomach. He goes as fast as he can with one leg, basically, home, and he's just sitting there depressed. Basically, he's super sad. Not only has, his girlfriend left him, All Might, was like, I need a new successor, and you're not it. And, what's it called? Everything's just looking down for Deku. So Deku, he's like, man, I'm just depressed. So he's, depressed. Inko notices. She's still, nice old Inko. No, nothing changes there. She's like, oh, why don't we go camping for, fun? Even though, his leg is broken, why don't we go camping? Deku's like, alright, fine. He's depressed. He's sad. So, he's going with Inko. They go camping. He's having a little bit of fun, getting to see everything. So eventually Inko's like, alright, I'm gonna go back to camp. If you want to head back, just head back. If you want to keep exploring, keep exploring. So Deku, he's like, alright, thanks, Mom. I'll look around a little bit more. So he goes to look around a little bit more. He's looking around at everything. He's like, wow, there's a beautiful forest at night. Because, sun's going down. He's like, maybe I should head back now. He turns around. He realizes, I went off the path. And he is lost. He doesn't know where he went. He was just wandering because, he was lost in thought about what happened. So Deku, he's basically, trying to retrace footsteps. Okay, if I've been walking this way, then I'll just go back this way. So he's going back. He's trying to look around, see if there's anything noticeable. He doesn't realize it. He doesn't see anything, basically. Deku, he's not heading back. He's going straight, deeper into the forest. So Deku, he runs into this little, shack. He's like, alright, it's dark at this point. It's like an abandoned shack. It's broken down, beat up looking. He's like, alright, this is not good, basically. So he goes in the shack, even though he really doesn't want to. So he goes in there. He's like, wow, this is scary. So he's sitting there. Deku knows how to light a fire because, he has, basic stuff on him at all times because, Inko's protective. So he lights a fire in, the fireplace. I know, it's stupid, but he does it. So he's sitting down. He, checks out the couches and stuff like that. They're covered and stuff, because they're old. So he's sitting down. He's like, wow, what the hell has my life gone up to? Everything went up, and then it just all crashed down in a matter of, days. Because everything just, went to shit for him out of nowhere. So Deku, he's just, he's just chilling out. He's like, So he looks around the house. He sees that there's, a bedroom. He's like, alright, let me go to bed. I'll look for Mom tomorrow. Hopefully she's able to find me, or at least able to find the cabin. So he goes to bed. He goes, he goes to sleep. And he has this weird dream. He's like, so, you finally made it here. And he's like, who the hell are you? He's like, don't worry about that just yet. I've seen your life, basically. It's all gone to shit for you, kid. He's like, alright, that's not nice of you to say. He's like, yeah, I don't really care, It's like, wow, alright. So Deku's, talking to this guy for a little while. This guy's like, yeah, honestly, your life sucks, and honestly, I'm just amazing, and even though, you're supposed to be, my reincarnation, Deku stops me. He's like, whoa, what? Your reincarnation? What do you mean by your reincarnation? He's like, yeah, you're supposed to be my reincarnation, and honestly, I'm disappointed. I expected better, So Deku's like, wow, I'm sorry about that, don't say sorry, kid, just be better. Alright, but what am I supposed to do? I'm quirkless, I don't have any powers, I'm not special. All Might took my powers. My girlfriend, left me, didn't even cheat on me, just left me for my childhood bully. What do you want me to do, man? He's like, alright, listen, kid. You train for a few months, and if you do well enough, I'll give you my power. He's like, all right, so how am I supposed to train with, one destroyed leg? Guy's like, all right, you know what, kid? I'll heal that leg up for you. He's like, how are you gonna heal it? He's like, I'll give you a little bit of my power, just enough to heal that leg. How about that? He's like, all right, I can work with that. So he heals up Deku's leg. Deku's like, thank you, man. He's like, yeah, you'll meet an acquaintance of mine. I wouldn't say a friend. He's like, all right, what does he look like? He's a black dude, white hair. He looks like a priest. You'll recognize him when you see him. He's like, all right, I guess. What's your name, anyways? He's like, don't worry about that, kid. So Deku, he's like, all right, whatever you say. So Deku wakes up. He's like, what a weird ass dream. So he grabs his crutches. He's ready to get up. Then he looks at his leg. His leg is good as new. Basically, he's like, okay, what the fuck was that? He's like, was that not a dream? What the hell is going on? So he's panicking a little bit. He's like, all right, well, either way, I know that I can walk now. And somehow, lucky self, he makes it to Inko. Inko was worried sick. She's like, Izuku, what are you doing on that leg? He's like, oh, it's fine. It healed up. I got lucky somehow, I guess. He bullshits his answer. He's like, yeah, I ran into someone, and they had a healing quirk, and they healed it up for me. And, Inko buys it. She's like, wow, I need to go thank that person. Nah, he left already. He was a pretty cool guy. I'll probably see him one day. So Deku's like, all right, let's head home. So Deku heads home. He still goes to UA because, they don't really know that, he's lost one for all. Well, the teachers and stuff know, some of them. Aizawa doesn't know because I don't think he knew about one for all. If he did know about it, then he does know. And he feels awful for Deku, But, everybody doesn't know. And, they haven't really done any sort of training thing yet. They also still have the 2 weeks off, so even then, he's just... So the camping trip was during the 2 weeks, and he went back to school, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna do the training festival. And then and then everybody's like, all right. And then they're like, Izuku Midoriya, please come to the front office. And, he's like, ooh, basically everybody's like, oh, he's in trouble. So Midoriya gets up. He's still depressed, basically. He gets up. He goes to the office. They're like, hey, listen, we know about how you don't have one for all anymore, and you can't stay here. He's like, what do you mean I can't stay here? Listen, you just can't stay here if you don't have a quirk. You'll be a danger. You'll put more people in danger. And then, Midoriya, he's a little bit mad, because he's like, man, how come, even though I don't have a quirk, some people useless quirks are in Class 1A? What about Mineta? He can only throw, sticky balls. What is that gonna do? Freaking, he's pissed. He's like, all right, you know what? How about this? If I can win the sports festival, I stay in 1A. And then they're like, you know what? All right, if you can somehow win the sports festival, we'll accept it. All right. I stole this idea from Ultra Anime, if you didn't realize. But so basically, he's like, all right, let's get going. So he leaves, stuff like that. He heads home. He's like, all right, Mom, can you sign me out of school for a few days? I'm going to be training. So during this, we'll say that instead of, the U.S. or not the USD, the sports festival happening after the break, let's say the sports festival happens a month after. So during this month, Deku has not talked to anyone in Class 1A. He hasn't spoken to anyone. You decide on a ship. I don't really care. But he hasn't talked to anyone at all. So he's been working out. He works out, eats, sleeps, then works out again. He works out, eats, works out, and then goes to sleep. Basically, he does shower in between, of course. He's not disgusting. But he's working his ass off. So, Deku, he looks different. He's buffer. He's way, more muscular. He looks like a whole new man. And then, Ingo, she's like, oh, I'm so proud of you, my baby. Yada, yada, yada. So, Deku does his workout for the day. That's the last day. He goes to sleep, and he sees the guy again. He's like, so, you took my advice. You worked out. You got more physically strong. Maybe you can handle my power now. He's like, maybe. Man, I've been working my ass off. Come on. He's like, well, it's not my choice whether you can handle it or not. It's a power's choice. He's like, what the hell is the power anyway? He's like, don't worry about that fully yet. Right now, you'll be training with a few of my abilities. And then, after a while, you'll be heading back to your world, basically. He's like, what do you mean by my world? He's like, don't worry about it. one of the abilities the guy that I told you about will give you. He'll probably show up in about a day or two. He's like, all right, what about the other abilities? The other abilities I'll tell you about here, all right? And, well, that's where I'm going to leave it off, guys. I'm not going to tell you about the abilities now, or just yet. So, if you guys like this, I mean, please do like, subscribe, all that stuff, all that jazz. Comment, who do you think ship should be? I don't really care about ships too much. What's it called? Don't make it, Uraka, because that's not happening. I don't really care who it is, any age, anything. If you want to make it like a grown adult hero or something, I'll just say that UA is a college or something. So just, yeah. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a nice day.